This video was a terrible idea. This is Finch. And he sucks. No, I mean, literally, he's the worst cat ever. Like, he sucks. And for the next 3 days, I'm letting him decide whatever I eat. Whatever he chooses, I have to cook with. And recently, on top of his normal behavior, which is just generally really annoying, he's started barely eating any of his food. And it feels like at this point, I've tried everything. But recently, every time I notice that he's kinda into a new food, he does this. See how crazy he's going with his sniffer there? That's the foundations of this video. So with that, I've decided to take my cooking journey to a place where no chef has gone before, and did something a little crazy. I gathered 45 cat-safe ingredients and let him pick what I'm gonna cook for the next 3 days. The first challenge of this video was getting him to sit still for an hour so he can decide what he wants to eat for the next 3 days. Finch, get out from under the table. We're filming a video. Now before we test this, yes, all of the ingredients are safe, don't worry! No garlic, no onions, no chocolate, only vet-approved samples, yada yada yada. Don't feed your cat spaghetti, please. And we started with Finch rejecting the first 5 ingredients I gave him, with either his trademark stink face, or him just beelining away. He didn't care. He didn't want anything to do with this video. And just a little note here, this process took about 5 hours.
Finch. He doesn't even care. He doesn't even care if I died.
But around the 4-hour mark, we finally found something he liked. Oh, the beef liver? He gave it a sniff. That's a win. And that was beef liver, the single worst meat known to man. But we'll get to that later. Okay, Finch, come here. At the 5-hour mark, Finch picked broccoli, anchovy paste, and gelatin. Staples of any refined palate. But after this, he was done. So it looks like for the next 3 days, we're stuck with 4 ingredients. That being gelatin, anchovy paste, beef liver, and broccoli. The ultimate list of ingredients you'd probably never want in your mouth. So, I want to see if I can develop like a cat-like palate. Just so in the future, I don't even need to ask him anymore. I'll just know what he wants to eat because he always wants to be such a hard, toughy little guy who doesn't want to eat anything. But, if I'm really gonna think like a cat and finally get Finch to eat, I'm gonna need some backup. So before cooking, I'm calling a vet, a butcher, and a chef, the dream team, to tell me how not to screw this up. And I wanted to stagger them in between the days so all of the knowledge that they give me can fully absorb into my small pea brain. So, let's start with the vet. Oh, there he is. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dr. Theodore Grayson, a veterinary food formulator. Oliver has asked me to review ingredients for his cat Finch.
All right, well, thank you for joining us, Doctor. Much appreciated. The idea is I let my cat pick the ingredients, and then I eat those for about 3 days.
All right, well, that's the worst idea ever, but funny.
Okay.
Cats sometimes eat plastic.
Okay, fair enough. But first up, beef liver. Is that safe for cats to eat?
Yes, in moderation. Packed with taurine, but too much is toxic. Cook it plain.
Okay. How about broccoli?
Not harmful, but unnecessary. Steamed florets, tiny amounts only.
Okay, and plain gelatin. How about that?
Safe, but nutritious.
Okay, fair enough. And anchovy paste? That's kind of a weird
You know,
one.
cats love it, but it's salty.
Sure.
Pea-sized amounts only.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. Much appreciated for joining me. That was much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Keep meals simple. Keep Finch safe. Rethink letting him play on the menu.
Fair enough. Okay. Have a good rest of your day. All right, so day 1, right? What does that mean? I'm feeling pretty confident. I think I can make something Finch likes. But after our call with the vet, I feel like the wisest way to go about this is to boil Finch's food. So yeah, let's get to cooking. All right, so day 1, spirits are very high. I'm thinking, sure, these ingredients are really gross, but I'm a chef and I can make this work. So, for Finch, we're gonna keep it simple. Some boiled broccoli, some boiled liver, and a sad little dollop of anchovy paste. For me, I did butter-seared liver with roasted broccoli, an artistic smear of anchovy paste, and a dainty little gelatin glaze on top. My plan here is very simple. I'm gonna ease Finch into this. A gentle start, and I want him to think, wow, this guy really gets me. And a little spoiler for you, he did not think that at all. Hi, buddy. Come on down. Eat your food. I made a delicious boiled everything with some anchovy paste. I hope he likes it. Come on down. Come here. Give it a sniff. What do you think of that? Come on. Finch. Oh, you're kidding me. So yeah, he didn't even try it, hey? He just kind of walked away and left me alone with this atrocity. Here we go. Holy sh**. Ugh. I can't swallow it. I can't do it. Oh my god! I can't do it. Oh, it's a texture thing. It's hard on the outside and then like, oh, slimy in the middle. It's like tough and then it falls apart like a paste. Broccoli. That's all right. Broccoli's all right. Hey, so that was like really bad. That was really bad. Like I couldn't even finish. I couldn't even eat it. I like crying. I cried after eating that. That was that bad. So I guess that gets a 0 out of 5. That is a 0 out of 5. And Finch, well, he didn't eat it. I guess I'll see you guys for day 2. After today's failure, I got some shut-eye. Though I couldn't really shake this feeling about what's to come here. With Finch, there's never really a guarantee, and he could hate everything I make for him forever. But something about today felt different. Like maybe, just maybe, I'm starting to think the way he does. And tomorrow, I'm bringing in somebody who might just crack the code. At least, I hope he does. I woke up for the next day with a lot more energy than I had the day prior. I slapped on my chef jacket, but before I cooked anything, I wanted to make sure I got through an expert interview. And just a little spoiler before we start this. I hired this guy on Fiverr. I didn't really proof him before we started filming, we just started going immediately. Regardless, here's the footage for that. Hello, do you want to introduce yourself to the world?
My name is Jonathan Rickenbacker.
Alright, so I wanted to explain this video idea to you, because I think you might have some good tips here. You are a butcher by trade, yes, that is true.
Yes.
Alright, great, that's awesome, okay. Question number 1. I was curious, when you've got a really nice cut of meat, even if it's a small portion, how do you make it shine on the plate?
I find that when you have a tribal treat, it is often best to coat it in a delicious vinegar at the very end.
Okay, so that actually gives me a great idea. Question number 2. Do you think presentation matters, even if it's just for yourself, or like for my pet?
There's always spirits watching.
That's a crazy answer to that question. All right, question number 3. If somebody took the time to make beef liver look beautiful, do you think it'll taste better?
The eyes are the window of the soul. The soul is found in the gut.
Yeah. Question number 4. Is beef liver supposed to be soft and pasty in the middle if it's cooked properly?
The pastier the better.
The pastier the better.
You want it to have the resemblance of a freshly squeezed tube of toothpaste.
I don't think that's right. I think you're wrong.
Right.
Okay, number 5. If I'm using ingredients people might underestimate, do you think plating them well could earn some respect?
I have been underestimated in every aspect of my life.
All right.
And I have yet to find any respect.
Well, that's fair. I don't know how that answers the question, but I think that you're probably close to something there. All right. Now, well, thank you for joining me. Okay. I just hired these guys on Fiverr. I don't know. I thought that he would do a fine job. I regret that. That was the weirdest conversation I've ever had in my life. Sorry about that. After that really interesting conversation with the butcher, I decided that the best way of going about this whole thing was presentation. It has to look good. The food has to look good. I pick and chose at some other stuff this guy mentioned, but for the most part, I didn't value this guy's opinion at all. Ow, I bumped my elbow. So today, it's time to lock in. We started today's cook with an elegant broccoli puree. I started by boiling our broccoli with a mix of gelatin powder. This should help it be super duper thick and just make your mouth feel so good. After that, I pureed it in the blender and just set it aside for plating later. I took some inspiration from the butcher with this, not a lot. I decided to make an anchovy vinaigrette to pour on top, because I think that tartness from the vinaigrette should really help out our liver and our broccoli puree. Now, I cut my liver into beautiful little medallions and seared them beautifully on a ripping hot pan, ensuring that I was cooking them thoroughly this time so they're not too pasty. For Finch's, I seared them in a pan this time and got some char on them. I think making it look a little bit nicer might help him a touch. I shaved a little bit of broccoli because I was also worried that was turning him off from the last dish. There might have been too much broccoli on it, not enough meat. Then I combined anchovy paste, water, and gelatin and made a beautiful little stock for him, like a little liquid, like a soup almost. And then I plated it up and it looked just like a disgusting thing a cat would eat. Now for plating mine, I smeared a little bit of that broccoli puree on the bottom, staggered our medallions in the middle so that they were upright just perfectly, with a dash of our vinaigrette on top and some dried chives for garnish. Now, let's see if I'm right about my theory and this upscaled food turns Finch's eyes over to me.
All right, so here we have it. The liver medallions with the broccoli puree and anchovy vinaigrette. Finch, look at this. I made you this. No! Finch, come back. So I guess that's another loss, hey? That's another L.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
Let's see how this tastes. We'll rate this out of 5. First, the broccoli puree and the anchovy vinaigrette. Let's try that. That's actually not bad. I would give that a 3. It's all right. But the star of the show is really the liver. So here we go, I guess. Bottoms up. All right, so I just threw up. I just vomited. Oh my god. It's in my mouth. It's stuck in there. New worst food we've had on the channel so far goes to this. Anyway, this one gets a 2 out of 5 for barely palatable. And he didn't even eat it. He didn't even try. He didn't even smell it. Well, I don't know what to do anymore, man. He's just not gonna eat anything. He's not gonna eat. I don't know what tomorrow's gonna look like, guys. I guess we'll have to see.
2 days, 2 meals, 0 bites. Finch won't eat. And I can't take much more of this. If tomorrow fails, this whole experiment fails. And I don't know what to do anymore, so tomorrow I have to call in some backup. I'm gonna call in a chef. Someone who's pulled me out of the weeds before, an old friend. And hopefully, he can pull me out of the weeds one more time. I woke up this morning defeated. This was my Hail Mary, my final chance at this. So, I called my old friend, a chef I used to work with, and if anyone could save this disaster, it had to be him. Oh, hello, Mr. Jerome. All right, so, when something's just not working, do you ever just simplify it?
Yes.
How do you generally simplify these things?
Integration.
So you're kind of leading me to think that maybe just blending all of these ingredients together would be the wisest move for him.
But if you want wet sludge, blending it would probably be the best way to go about achieving that.
All right. Thank you for your time. So there I was, with 2 words echoing in my head. Wet sludge. And in that moment of staring at the blender, I understood. This wasn't just dinner anymore. This was destiny. And destiny tastes like wet sludge. It started as food technically, but the order that I did have quickly gave way to just chaos. This wasn't cooking anymore. This was almost sacrifice. And everything kind of blended into its own indistinguishable horror. The smell coming off this thing was putrid, and what was left behind should not be named. And the abyss was waiting. And I sent it to hell. This was it. This is wet sludge. Behold, the end result of man versus cuisine. And now, both of us had to eat it. This was it, the moment of truth. Finch had to eat.
Come here, Finch. It's time.
And he came up without a struggle. But I stayed silent, suspicious. I gave the food a sniff and gagged. And I scared him off.
Come here, buddy.
I called him again. And then I had an idea.
I think the wisest thing to do here, we gotta put this on the floor.
and to my utmost shock, he devoured it. Like it was the best food he'd ever had.
Well, with that out of the way, I suppose it's finally time that we do this. Bottoms up.
This dish was revolting, slop, and every part of me wanted to rage. But instead, I felt like some kind of relief. I think I just felt better knowing I was taking better care of him. He's a good cat. Maybe the best I've ever had. And honestly, he probably deserves a home-cooked meal more than anyone I've ever fed in a restaurant. So, it turns out my cat will only eat my cooking if I make it look as unappetizing as possible. And I don't think I've ever felt more disrespected in my career. My other cat, Bella, she deserves some good food too, but she's allergic to the world, so she's not getting anything. No cats were harmed in the making of this video. Only humans. And I guess Finch wins again.